Hey guys, what's up? It's Retro Mikey 78 here today, man. And I know, man. This is week 3 of the horror collab. I'm just not feeling good. I'm trying to take notes while I'm working on this. I got all kinds of things going on. But today's video we got coming up, we have Hey Dad, Let's Play. Billy did a segment, and then his son Oscar wanted to do his own segment. But in the middle of that, I'm going to throw in Coapola Nerds. So, while I'm taking notes, you guys sit here and you guys see what Billy from Hey Dad, Let's Play is doing. And let's see if I can feel any better. Itchy. Scratchy. Tasty. Hey guys, I just want to throw this little clip in here. Just let you guys know, on the upcoming videos with Hey Dad, Let's Play, both Billy and Oscar's. I had to remove the footage that they had submitted to me, and I just put in pictures so that I wouldn't lose their audio that they had in the background talking about these upcoming things they see. YouTube threw up a big copyright claim and was not even going to let me post the video. So I wanted you guys to be able to at least hear what they had to say. So sorry, Hey Dad, Let's Play. This is what I got to deal with.
First, we want to say a big thank you to Retro Mikey for putting this together and asking us to be a part of it. And we're just going to jump right into it with our horror franchise picks. We both picked movies instead of games. We haven't played a whole lot of scary games.
Yeah.
Might be cheating a little bit with our picks because the question was for a horror franchise and it was for nothing too popular. And Mikey gave a couple lists of what he thought were too popular. Oscar picked one that I said is not a franchise.
It's not a franchise.
Because it's a single movie.
It's a single movie. It's
and
really
I picked
scary.
one that Oscar says is too popular.
I think
so. So Oscar says that I picked one that is too popular.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the list. And I don't feel like it's too popular. I don't think people talk about it a lot. Like, I feel like it comes up, like, when you're talking movies, but, like, when you're talking horror films, people are usually hitting, like, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jaws sometimes, maybe.
And Jaws.
Yeah, but
it's
anyway,
not really a horror movie, it's just there.
I picked Alien.
Yeah.
In the Aliens franchise. The first one is really, like, the horror movie of it. Like, they all kind of have, like, a spooky feel, but they're more like action-y after the first one. But what I really liked about the first one, and it's one of my favorite horror movies, horror films, it really is, because the atmosphere,
Yeah.
like it's the whole thing feels cold and lonely and claustrophobic, like just moving through the tubes and the spaceship and the vents, and like you don't know where this thing's at, and it's like up there and it's deadly. Like the whole thing is, I really love it because of the feeling. Like,
and all of this, the whole movie, pretty much the whole franchise, could have been stopped if the guy didn't let them in.
well, yeah, like the whole plot of the thing is about how that corporation is trying to get the aliens back to Earth.
That one guy, he's a robot.
Yeah.
I called it at the end of the movie. Like, man, that guy, every time that guy turns, he's like his entire spine looks like it could just bend on its own and then go.
I don't know. I think the most like robot thing about him
It's just
like,
how he has the same face the entire
well,
time.
no, like he's not Data by any means. Like
Yeah.
he's not
Not.
Data. But like the most robot thing
Data
about
was
him,
nice.
I think, was like the callousness. Like he was there to do his job.
Mm-hmm.
Like even before they knew that he was an android, they just thought he was the doctor. When they were talking to him about, well, we need to do this, we need to do that, and he's like, oh no, that's not how this works. You know?
And he was like, oh, get a sample of this.
Uh-huh.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he was at the thing, just, I'm gonna get a sample of it. Gets, like, it turns into a giant monster later.
But that's probably one of my favorite horror movies ever. And I picked it because it isn't a franchise, unlike The Thing. Otherwise, I probably would have picked The Shining. It's a solo by itself, but it's really, really good. I guess technically Dr. Sleep is kind of a pseudo-sequel.
Yes, it's a sequel.
Well, I mean, kinda.
But
but what I really like about Alien is just the atmosphere that it makes for you. Like, I think that's what a lot of horror movies miss. Like, a lot of them are just like slasher, gore stuff.
I know. Like I want a horror movie that actually is tense, not just like
tense.
It's not like, just like, oh look, there's Jason again.
Well, it's tense and then like has a world that it creates and it has rules to the world and it follows them. Like that's what I really like in a horror movie. I remember the first time I saw it, and I was probably close to Oscar's age, and it freaked me out. Like, I was already kind of a little claustrophobic anyway as a kid, so like seeing all that in the like tight corridors and how they had to be careful and move through, and there's something like lurking like just beyond that wall.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
And then also, they use fire just like the people in The Thing did.
Yeah.
Fire kills everything. Burn it with fire. If it's a water monster, cover it with oil first.
But really, I really like the first Alien movie. I really like the second one too, but it's a little less horror. And then after that, it kind of, they're kind of hit and miss after that. But I'm going to make it, for the purposes of this video, my favorite horror franchise. Whereas Oscar can't say that.
Can't say what?
That it's a franchise. I mean, there is an older one. John Carpenter's Thing is a remake of an older one. And then there is a remake of the John Carpenter one. So, but does that count as a franchise? I don't think so.
No.
Thanks again, Mikey, for making us a part of this. It was really fun to sit and talk movies with Oscar. He's starting to get into like more adult type movies, like horror and things like that. He wants to watch the rest of the Aliens franchise with me. He's still only seen the first one. And so this was just really fun to get to do with him, because he's getting into all that kind of stuff, horror and like weird B movies and stuff. So.
Oh man, guys, Billy, I'm sorry, man. I'm just not feeling better. You know, I'm still just things. I'm going itchy, man. Things just, I don't know what's going on, and everything I'm thinking about, everything just sounds so tasty. I can't take it. But man, I love it. It's the second person now to talk about Alien. Alien itself, the first one, it's just a great action movie, and man, I don't know what, but the first Alien movie is a great horror movie, but the rest of them are more action than they are horror. I don't know what to tell you guys, but I don't know. I look at those things, and don't the aliens look tasty? Yeah, they do. But guys, let's check out Coapola Nerds and see what they got.
We're fresh.
And I'm Mary, and we are a Coapola of Nerds. And Retro Mikey 78 invited us to send some horror vibes your way and talk about a lesser-known horror movie that is one of our favorites.
The Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead. Now, this movie does not get anywhere near the love that Night of the Living Dead gets.
How do you kill something that's already dead?
Well, how do I know, Fred? I don't know. Let me think.
It's not a bad question, Bert. In that movie, they destroyed the brain to kill him. Is that what they did? The brain, right.
So, the synopsis with this movie is it does talk a little bit about the Night of the Living Dead. Mm-hmm. There's, this guy who works at this supply company that supplies
medical supplies.
some live medical supplies, like actual like half animals, so they take half of an animal. Anyway, and he talks about, oh, did you hear about how that was actually a true story, but they had to change the story so they weren't liable, but it was because of a chemical from the military that got out and got all over the dead bodies and made them come back to life. And he said, but you know, I know that it's true because some of those dead bodies got sent here and they're in these containers down in our basement. And so he's training this new guy and he takes him down there to show him. He's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And then he's like, it'll never open. And then he like smacks it, and of course it opens, and the smoke comes out, and the zombie comes out, and all the smoke gets into the air ventilation system. And they're...
Who's there?
Of course, they have to, like, you know, it's a classic B-movie, horror movie. They had to bring in some teenagers or some, you know, juvenile delinquents who are out there drinking and partying and having fun and getting naked and dancing on tombstones. And
like you do.
Like
we
you
call
do.
that Tuesdays.
Yeah. Then they go over to a mortician who also can help them maybe cremate the body that they found. And of course, because they tried chopping it up, they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill it by getting it in the brain. Right. And they find out that doesn't work. Everything comes alive, which is really cool because even the butterflies, they have like butterflies pinned to the wall, even they come alive, which I thought was cool.
Start flapping their wings.
Yeah. Even a half dog comes alive and starts whimpering. And so then of course they cremate it, and then the smoke from the cremation goes out and just makes more zombies and makes it worse.
Right. So probably the thing that sets this apart from every other zombie movie, and Mary alluded to it, is these zombies are indestructible. You can kill them with completely burning the body, but if you amputate an arm, that arm becomes animated and still tries to kill you. Bullets to the head do nothing. Chopping off the head does nothing. They just keep coming. And then these zombies can also communicate. They can't, so they still talk. They still can use equipment, machinery. They use walkie-talkies at one point in time.
Send more cops.
Right, they are strategizing to send more victims in and then ambush them. So they're using war-type tactics. And this also introduced the classic zombies craving brains. You don't typically see that, but whenever someone mimics a zombie, they always go, oh, brains. Yeah. But if you look at, Night of the Living Dead, The Walking Dead, none of them ever talk.
They just want to, and
they just want to eat flesh.
Yeah, they just kind of appear to go for the flesh. And these zombies very specifically say that they want brain.
Why?
The pain.
What about the pain?
The pain of being dead.
Hurts to be dead.
I can feel myself rot.
So, a couple things about this movie. There was definitely a lot of over-the-top acting. But, I mean, you would expect that, of course, with an older movie and also a B movie and also a horror movie. So, I mean, the over-the-top acting kind of made sense for it. And it wasn't like... I don't want to say it wasn't bad acting, but it wasn't like super bad acting, I guess you could say. It wasn't like the best, but it made it kind of interesting and fun and funny at times, actually.
Right, yeah.
Somewhat comical.
This is sort of a horror comedy, and the over-the-top characters, over-the-top acting add to that humor.
It's all over everything! Stupid asshole! Watch your tongue, boy, if you like this job! Like this job!
Yeah.
And of course, this movie being from the 80s has all practical effects, with the exception of one small scene.
Like seconds, like 2 or 3 seconds.
I don't want to talk about it because that's kind of a spoiler to the ending of the movie, but it sticks out. 1985 computer graphics are not what they are today.
It might have even been like animated if it wasn't CGI, it was like animated. But I think it was CGI.
Yeah.
And it was.
But all the practical effects are really nice. The Tar Man is controlled by a puppeteer. There's lots of camera tricks. You know, an arm will jump out at someone, but it's in a bag, and when he reveals it, you could tell it's his own arm wearing a prosthetic. I thought that was really cool. Some of the effects have held up better than others. I personally love practical effects, so that's so definitely give this a try if you like zombie movies and want your zombies a little bit different.
Yeah,
than the stereotype.
We watch a lot of B-rated horror movies, and this is definitely a classic.
That's right.
This is one you want to add to your collection and check out.
Well, thanks, Retro Mikey, for including us in your lesser-known horror movies, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alright guys, now Coapola Nerds had a great video. And I'm telling you guys what, I told you everything's starting to get bad for me today. Just looking wrong. Look, I found it. Nice, steaming brains. It looks so good. I just want to. Brains. While I'm enjoying this hot brains, why don't you guys go and enjoy and see what Oscar from Hey Dad Let's Play is talking about.
Okay, I picked The Thing, the 1983 version.
Excellent choice.
I think it's
1983?
Yeah, I think it was 1983 when it was made.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think the movie is really scary because so you can get infected with it at any time by just like a little bit of it on your food, right? Little tiny bit of it.
I don't know, they don't really explain how it works.
Yeah, but they're like everyone.
Yeah.
Eat only canned food.
And it could be anybody. Like, you can't tell, yeah.
It could be whoever was your best friend.
It's basically Among Us. Oscar's gonna change his answer to Among Us.
I will change my answer to,
No. Keep talking about The Thing.
So anyway... People, sometimes they're even wearing, like, their snowsuits with, like...
Yeah.
Anyway... So, it could be, like, your best friend, and they could be your best friend forever. But they could be the Thing, and you can't trust them, no matter what they say, because for some reason, this thing is, like, crazy smart. Somehow it copies... I mean, it's a little bit different.
It, like, copies DNA.
Yeah,
right?
it copies
like,
DNA and everything.
It's trying to, like, reproduce itself or something.
Yeah. But just the weird thing is that it's really hard to tell. Most of the time they could tell when people wanted to be alone with one other person or just was alone by themselves.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
That's what scared you about it the most, though, was that, like, uncertainty.
Yeah.
You can't trust anyone.
Yeah,
right?
and then there's like 2 scenes, I think, where the thing can't guide anyone, like one person out, and it just disfigures itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of reveals what it is.
Yeah, and starts trying to kill everyone.
Yeah. It's a great movie. It's definitely in my top scary movies.
But the scariest thing about the thing, is that it, like, you might be infected by it, so you could get infected by it, alright, but what if it kept your conscience? What if it kept your conscience?
Consciousness?
Yeah, consciousness.
Yeah.
So that it could try and copy your speech patterns. so for its own well-being, but you still have to witness it.
You mean like what if you're alive?
Yes.
Still, like you're still like
you're
in
still there, but you can't do anything.
That's crazy.
So like so again, your best friend's infected, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Just they can't do anything, and they end up killing you.
Oh, that's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, and also if you're still there, imagine
if they would have shown that a little bit in the movie, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you can still feel the pain if you are still there.
Yeah.
Because the one guy has his head ripped off and his stomach split open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could change one thing about that movie though, they revealed that it was from space, like very first thing in the movie.
Yeah.
It's like it's an alien, and like I kind of feel like if they would have just kept it really super vague, like as it is, it's really vague because you can't you don't know how it works exactly or really what's going on or
where it's from.
It's
just it is an alien.
It is an alien. Like they make a point at the beginning of the movie to show that it's from space.
Yeah.
Like if it could have just been vague the whole time, I think that would have been a little better. But I thought it was great.
Yeah. But like that thought is just terrifying.
Yeah, that if you're still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy.
And also, the ending of the movie. So...
Spoilers for this 30-plus-year-old movie. Go ahead.
Ending is insane because the main character that you've been following the entire time, the guy with like kind of goatee.
Yeah, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Ego.
Yeah. And later he becomes a planet.
Anyway.
He gets infected, he takes over the entire planet. That's Earth 1.
Mm. Anyway.
Anyway. Okay. The ending is insane because what happens is that the main character that you've been pretty much following, like, it switches to other perspectives every once in a while, you know, to other people. But you okay, so he fights the doctor who infected the one guy who reminds me of like a soldier, and then some other guy.
Okay.
Just 2 other people, and it's the doctor, and he infected them.
Okay.
They become like one giant monster.
Sure.
And they start like digging through the snow and stuff, trying to get him, and he blows them all up. But what's not to say that he didn't get infected on his way out when he meets up with that other guy? And what's not to say that that other guy, who you know how he didn't use the rope to get where he was, wasn't infected either.
Well, that's the great part about that movie.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens at the end.
Yeah.
Like, even the explosion that happened, like there could be pieces of it that survived. You know, because the whole thing was like it's been frozen forever and they let it go. You don't know. Like it could still be alive. You don't know.
I already know how it ends. He becomes a planet.
The
end.
The end.
The end.
So
don't bite me.
Thanks for this, and thanks for letting us be a part of it. And everybody, make sure that you follow all the other great channels that are a part of this collab too. And we'll see you later.
Alright guys, I'm back. Still sitting here chewing on these nice, tasty brains. And Oscar, I'll tell you right now, it was a privilege to hear you talk about The Thing. It's a great movie. And normally, if I was in Antarctica, I would be freezing. But now that I'm turning into a rotting, flesh, brain-eating zombie, I just really don't have no use for freezing anymore. So, let's go back to NonZombified Retro Mikey and see what he's going to talk about this week in the horror collab. I'll restart that. Alright guys, I'm no longer zombified, and that's because on hand I always keep the Resident Evil T-Virus antidote. Yeah. I know, I'm not done talking about the games, because that's breaking the rules, but hey, always have handy the T-Virus Antidote Energy Drink to keep yourself from being fully turned into a flesh-eating, brain-eating zombie. And no way I'm going to drink that. That thing's like 15 years old. Alright guys, so this week I want to talk about my near and dear favorite game of all time. Something that got me into survival horror. A lot of you guys have heard me talk about this game countless times. And I know you're probably going to be like, seriously? I mean, I just released a video Tuesday about my 10 greatest games of all time. And this is the last game I talk about. I talk about this game so much, people are like, please stop, but I'm not going to. Seventh Guest. One of my favorite PC games all times. I love this game. I will run through this game at any point. I did a live stream once of this. It was a blast. I love playing it. I've got this on my tablet. I've got it on my phone. I've got it on my computer. I've got a Philips CDI version up here, and I don't even own a Philips CDI. I'm wanting to collect a Mac version because I've actually got a old MacBook computer that I bought at a yard sale. Give me a Mac version. I could play it on a Mac. I haven't never done that before, but I'd probably do that. I love playing different versions of this game. And the game did have a sequel. The sequel wasn't as good, and a lot of people say it. 11th Hour. It's still a good game. It's nowhere as fun as Seventh Guest. There is a part 3. I've got a digital port on Steam, but yet I've not played it. For some reason, I'm not too big on Steam, but I need to go and I need to play that. I would do a live stream of it, but they already tagged me they threw a fit when I played these two on live stream, so for copyright purposes, so I'm not going to go play the third one. It's called The 13th Doll. It was a fan-made game. So I'm not into wanting to, deal with the copyright issues. So I'll play it sometime offline myself. I do so much other stuff. I just don't never sit down to play those on a PC. I'm never really in front of my PC. But like I said, these games are cheap. They're fun. Go check them out on GOG.com or go check them out on Steam. I highly recommend these. Or just download it on Android. I think it might be on the iStore too. You guys can play it on your cell phone or your tablets. This has been Retro Mikey 78. I hope you guys have been enjoying these collab videos. Next week is the final one. There's only going to be 2 guests, and it's going to be an epic blast. We'll see you guys then.